welcome to the Fuck Ass Podcast. Fuck Ass Podcast. Fuck Ass Podcast. Yeah, bitch. This is me. I'm Eric. I am Ponderance. I'm your daddy's daddy. That's not what I mean. So yesterday I was talking to Lily Pants. I was talking to my 5-year-old. My sweet old 5-year-old. And she was like, oh no, they're leaving. Saturday she wanted to, well, she always wants to play with kids, but Saturday she really wanted to play with the neighbor, the youngest. There was like a 7 or 8 or 9-year-old, I can't remember how old she is, who lives next door. And Lily, and then the older one, I guess they're both kind of the same age, sort of, in a way. But Lily wants to play with them. And she hasn't played with them in a while. And I was explaining to her, I'm like, Lily, they haven't really invited you back over. I mean, they would text me and get me like, hey, let's have her come over or whatever. You know, Destiny wants to play. I guess I'm saying names. And it's like, I was telling my Lily, like last time you were over there, you almost immediately ditched him when your little boyfriend came. The boy came looking for Lily. And I was like, they're not here. She's not here right now. He's like, where is she? I'm like, she's at a friend's. It's not at Diego's. And he was like, and then I don't remember if I said or if he just figured it out. I don't know, but he went over and knocked on the neighbor's door where she was. Who, they don't play with the boys. The neighbors don't play with the boys. And Lily essentially ditched the people she was playing with to go play with the boys. And I've been trying to explain to Lily over and over, like, that's not cool. And yesterday when the girls that she wants to play with left, at first she was freaking out like, oh no, they're leaving. I'm like, I told you they probably got stuff to do. It's like it's Sunday. They usually do stuff on Sunday. They seem to always be gone on Sunday. And then she's like, when do they have karate? And I'm like, I have no idea. She's like, well, how do you know they're gone? I'm like, well, because you always want to play on Sunday and their van's always gone. It's like, so I know that one. It's like, because I'm always home on Sunday, you always want to play with them on Sunday and they're always gone. And she's like, well, how come you have cameras, you don't know when they go to karate? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck, they do stuff every day. I don't know when they're doing stuff. I don't pay that much attention. I don't even know when you have school. I know she has Wednesday. I know Lily has Wednesdays off. And then I'm not exactly sure. I'm not home. So I don't even know when Lily what time she stops school in the afternoon. I think it's like 1:30 or 2. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't exactly know. And I told her, I don't pay attention to other people's schedules. I barely fucking remember my own sometimes. That's not true. I know my own. But it's like I can't pay attention to everybody. And then she kept asking me all these questions. And I'm like, I don't really want to talk to anybody. And I told her, you really enjoy going out and talking to everybody and playing with people all the time, and I don't. And she's like, why? I was like, here's an example. One of the neighbors asked me, because they know I know stuff about computers and cameras and shit, asked me how they could always have a camera running so they could catch one of the kids throwing temper tantrums, so they could show someone that they actually do throw temper tantrums. So I spent a week or two, I think it was only a week, but it feels like 2 weeks. I kept looking up, I think it might have been closer to a week. Soda is not good for your voice. I thought about it, I looked up systems on Amazon. I researched functionality. I kept whittling it down. This costs over $250. Like, possibly do it with the way that she wants to do it. I think I found one for like $100. But I knew a way to do it with stuff she already has and just add like a $20 webcam to it. And then I could set up the software, and it kept coming down to that. So finally I told her, I told the neighbor how to do it. Well, that's what I could come up with, and they didn't give a fuck. They didn't even acknowledge I said anything. And then I asked them later, I was like, did you it's like, why did I spend all that time looking into shit for no fucking reason? It always goes like that. I was telling Lily, and that's why I try not to talk to anybody. I don't want to have anything to do with anybody. I really fucking don't. All my life, it's been bend over backwards and bust my ass and do everything I can for people. And then, cool. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck about anybody but their goddamn selves. And it's time that I fucking start doing that too. Fuck everybody. I don't give a fuck about anybody. That's why I'm going to do what I need to do for my Lily. Since I fucked up with Charlie won't even goddamn interact with me at all without fucking drama. So obviously, fuck her too. Like, it breaks my heart, but I just got to deal with it. That's how humans are. That's how humans are. So fuck them. I can't do anything about it. I tried. I did way more than I should. There's no way. Looking back on it, the plan was to give her a car when she was time to drive. And the funny thing is, they didn't even they didn't even have her do it when she was able to do it, like her mom did it. I don't understand any of that shit. But I shouldn't have given her a fucking car. That was really stupid. I'm an idiot. I go too far for people. For why? I just let people do stupid shit. So I'm done. And I didn't explain all that to Lily. But I'm like, that's why I don't want to deal with people. I don't want to interact with anybody. Loan people money, they never pay it back. People fucking, it's bullshit. I feel like I should be a good person, but then when I'm a good person, fuck me. Nobody fucking asks any questions. They just take shit out of however they want to take it, and it doesn't matter if it's right or wrong. They just run with it, misunderstand shit. And it's even worse for me because I'm not fucking normal. A lot of people don't fucking cuss. I cuss all the time. That makes me a bad person, according to a lot of people. Why? I kind of wish I wasn't raised on George Carlin. So I learned from him, it's all about context. But anyway, so while we were talking about the neighbors, she was like, well, how come the oldest daughter always looks over at the windows when she goes by? I'm like, well, because you're crazy. I was like, it's because you're a crazy kid, and we're all wondering what the fuck you're up to. I don't remember what she said after that. I was like, that's why I tell you not to look at people. Lily's always, she's 5, I know. I'm trying to teach her. She's always looking in people's windows. Like, in there, if the door's open, she's always looking in people's houses when we're out walking. That's why I fucking hate taking her on walks. And I try to tell her, don't do that. It's people want their privacy. They don't want strangers walking around outside looking in their house. It's not that a 5-year-old's going to case their house to steal shit, but there are people that teach their kids how to do that. I don't know if they know that it's for the parents to break in and steal shit, but I told her it's mainly privacy. Don't do that. Plus, when I was a kid, I learned the hard way. I was doing that And I saw some shit I did not want to see. There were some biker hippies up the way, and they were doing some shit in the living room that was crazy. And I happened to look, and I was like, oh my God. That was the end of me looking at people's windows. Now I don't even give a fuck if I know them. I don't want to know what the fuck's going on in there. I told her, you're going to see stuff you don't want to see, and you're going to remember that for the rest of your life. And that's just because you couldn't give them privacy. You got to give them privacy. And she's like, well, why do you have these cameras? I'm like, I asked, do you remember when we got these cameras? She's like, no, I do not. You've always had them. No, she was like 2.5, 3 years old when we got those. And that all I could think about when she said that was, this is another argument why anti-abortion people are retarded. Kids are fucking etch-a-sketches. They're not even humans when they're tiny babies. Sure, they have mannerisms and they react to stuff, but they have no brains. They have no memory. Still developing. People aren't even fully formed adults into their fucking 20s. Like, their shit's not done developing into then. So I don't give a fuck about abortion at all. But anyway, that's not even the point. I was explaining to her the neighbor got broken into, and people stole a bunch of shit. And she's like, what? I was like, someone that they don't know who did it, kicked open the door, went inside, and when they weren't home, took a bunch of shit. Their iPads and a bunch of other shit. Jewelry, iPads. And took it. And she looked terrified. I'm like, yeah, me too. Like, I don't like the sound of that either. That's why I put cameras up. That's why I made it so they immediately upload any motion to a fucking web server. Because if they break in and take the camera shit, doesn't matter. I still got them. So, and she's like, oh, I thought it was just to watch people. I'm like, I don't want to know anything about anybody. I don't want to know what's going on. She was surprised. I'm like, no, I don't want to. I was like, it's nice to be able to see when packages are being delivered and to be able to watch for food being delivered. But other than that, I don't even look at the shit. And I reminded her about the literal meth head that used to live next door. I was like, remember all the shit we saw with, yeah, I don't want to know. I'd rather not known. I mean, it was nice because I was able to catch some of that shit as it was happening. And you're goddamn right I gave some video to the cops. They wanted his ass by the time it was over. And it wasn't even my shit. I had nothing to do with that shit. So anyway, I don't like people. I don't like people. I would live in a fucking cabin. If I could get Wi-Fi, if I could get broadband, and I could play my video games and download everything fast, I would live in a cabin and never see another human again. Happily.